All right, we are live. Let me see. Great. Well, anyway, that is what we got. I haven't done this in a while, so I hope this works well. And I'm not using Zoom. I'm directly on YouTube for once, and I'm okay. Let me check if this is working or this is not working. So I know if I do that. Okay, let's see. Oh, well, yeah, it's working. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Sorry for that. It's been a while, a very long time that I haven't been live. So, hi. As you can see, I'm not doing as I used to do, so it's quite different. But anyway, there you go. Sorry. Um so what is this about? Well, I've been doing a lot of videos in the past, and not and I stopped. One of the reasons is that some of the content that I put out I do not agree with anymore. I'm not regretting it, but I won't say the things that I used to say. So it's quite a completely different thing now. Things that were, but I think that that is quite normal, right? We go through, we present things and then we evolve and everything changes completely, which is quite the way we function. So there we are. Now, why am I doing this now? Well, because, well, um, as you know, things are quite in a certain way, meaning that something happened, a felony happened, a huge stealing happened, and we can say that there is danger not just for the United States, there is danger for the entire world. Our world order is under attack by billionaires, crazy people that think that, oh, they just want world control, right? They have the money and they think, why just have the money? Let's control the world. And we know the names. Is that this time is done openly. We know of whom this is referring to. Huh? And I'll come back to that. But what happened exactly? Well, it happened that there was an election in the United States of America, and there were two contestants, 45 and Kamala Harris. As you know, the election ended and with a certain result. Well, what we know is that 45 stole the election with the help of Russia and the billionaires, especially Musk, Zuckerberg. And let me just say, all of this is for entertainment purpose, and everything I'm saying is alleged. I don't have proofs, and I will give no proofs, though there are proofs for those that are able to watch. So the election was stolen with the help of this, as I said, Musk, Zuckerberg, Bezos, etc., etc. Russia is involved, and others, not only them. 45 was desperate because he risked to go to prison and didn't want to go to prison, and this was the only way he had to avoid prison, because His prison cell already had his name on it, so it was just waiting for him. And so this has avoided for him to go to prison, very simply. How did they do it? Well, they um, interfered with the machines, and they changed. It's very easy. Contrary to what some people are trying to say, it's very easy to do that in the American system of voting. So that's what they did. And this time, because they already did it in 2016 and 2020, but it didn't work. Why didn't it work in 2020 and 2016? Because they didn't have what they had in 2024, which is help, real help inside of the United States. That's the big difference between the two previous elections. Those two previous elections, the results were real. That they were correct. But in 2024, the interference was such that they stole it. And so, what happened for me is that I just was on a call on election day, and I was on a call, and as with my friend Pat, and when we stopped the call, it was around the moment where the first results were announced. And those first, and we were, it was expected that if those first numbers will be in favor of 45. That's what generally happens, right, in the beginning, and then it goes quite different. But as soon as I saw the first numbers coming in, I immediately I knew that they were overwhelmingly in 45 favor, which shouldn't have been. And for a very long time in 2024, I knew that Biden, then Harris, were the prospected winners. And I'm not basing this on pools or whatever what kind of that kind of stuff, because those things are irrelevant. But it was what the energies were telling me, and I have never had such clear information getting into a election. For instance, I was able to call Biden's win 1 month before the election. I knew that Biden will win, but before that, I was much in fear, confused, and right that I was feeling that things were leaning towards Biden, but I was not 100% sure. About 1 month before, prior to the election, I knew Biden will win. Here, I knew it 1 year before. I mean, maybe 1 year is exaggerated, but months, really 6-8 months prior to the election, I knew 45 will lose the election. So what happened? Well, as I said before, they stole the election. So which tells me what? It tells me that the timing, and when we feel things, and we are able to know where things are leaning. The thing is, we don't get the timing. So my timing was off, but the timing of everyone was off, right? Because even after the results were known, many people were still saying that Harris will be confirmed as president, which clearly didn't happen. But it doesn't mean it's not going to happen. It means that the timing of everyone was off, completely off. And so, well, um, we got the results that we know. And we also know, because now it is clear that if you look at the numbers, and I mean, go and watch, it's all over the internet, TikTok. Well, if you're in the US, you can't check TikTok, but I'm sure that those things are even on YouTube and other places. People have analyzed the results, and they come to the conclusion that there are problems with these results. And the main problems are that I can identify two states which results confirm the stealing, which is Pennsylvania and North Carolina. Both of them, and there are many other states, but these are the two states that allow me to say the election have been stalled, because these two states I know voted for Kamala Harris. Now, how come that I say this when the results are going? It's especially North Carolina, where down ballot everything went to the Democrats, especially governor, where the race was between a Democrat and a Republican, and the Republican was a 45 lookalike. Wow. So you want to tell me that people of North Carolina voted against a 45 alike, and then for president they voted the opposite? They voted for 45? If they were able to say we don't want a 45 alike as governor, why would they vote for 45 as president? Yeah, it doesn't make sense. So that's that. These are the kind of thing. Pennsylvania, it's energetical. It's my feeling. They did not vote the way it's in the results. And that's and then on top of or even to come as more is that Senate and House, they were the results have been also tempered with. What I'm getting, what I feel, and but this is numbers, and I think that in this there is a lot of me wishing it, is that 45 couldn't have by himself, he couldn't have gone over 40% of the votes. So what the results of this election give us is that the minority has taken over and disregarded the will of the majority, which is the will of the collective. There has been a clear information from the collective, which was going in the support for Kamala Harris. So what happened is that the billionaires, the patriarchy, that kind of people have taken over. And they are planning not to stop the United States, but as we can see with what is happening right now, they're planning to take over the world. They want world domination. That's what they are looking for. And especially for Musketeer. Because, it's what we are seeing right now. And one of the things that I've been thinking is, because even though the majority didn't vote for Trump, right? They didn't. They just didn't. However, millions of people have voted for him. And we are now seeing that even though some are regretting it, but nevertheless, we've been seeing a lot of hate coming from them towards liberals, towards transgender, towards LGBT, but especially the trans community. Uh, it's horrifying the way they have been instrumentalized and used in this election. Um, Women under attack, and you know that even women can attack women. We know that, but here it's also remember that it's not because a human is in a female body that they are identifying really as female. Like same thing for male. It's not because a human is a in a male body, but that they are identifying as male energetically. I'm speaking, and that doesn't mean being trans. It just means that you have women that are that have a lot of male energy in them, and that act as male, and that in the war between female energy and male energy, they will go with the male energy. Likewise, you have male that have a more predominant female energy, and in the war will go with the female energy, right? So which this war is more about imbalance in the people that are imbalance in the way they are presenting the two energies, because in actuality there is no war. I mean, it's we're in balance, and remembering that we are expressing male female only as humans. We don't have genders in reality. We are just expressing them here. So they are fighting all this because they want to take over and have control over us. And again, whom? The billionaires, especially because if you ask the question to the energetics, who is president of the United States? Trump is not president. It is clearly stated. Trump is not the president. And if you ask if Musk is president, the answer is yes. If you ask if Zuckerberg is president of the United States, the answer is yes. If you ask Bezos, is he president of the United States? The answer is yes. So, and for a while, if you were to ask if Putin is president of the United States, the answer was yes. I didn't. The last time I asked, Putin was not. But I think that there has been some clashes there between Putin and Trump. So Putin is, well, energetically, he is even not considered as alive. So that's another story, though. Um, anyway, those are the people that are wanting to take over, and probably there are other billionaires that are associated with them. These are just those that are more out there because we have seen them, right? Who was there for the inauguration? I think that even LVMH CEO was there for the inauguration, if I remember correctly. But Zuckerberg was there, Musk was there, etc., etc. So, and why billionaires will go to the inauguration, right? Well, because they are in charge. They really are in charge. And remember, one of first thing that the Trump administration just announced. They announced that they are preparing to go to Mars. Who in that circle has a company that is doing that space stuff? That's Musk. So you can see that that announcement was an announcement that was done for him. That was completely for him. So will there be a mission to Mars? Probably not. But will they try to? I mean, if they are allowed to continue, are they going to invest in it? Yes. And who is going to cash the money? Musk. It's clear. Musk is one of the driving force behind this. So the election stolen. That there were many people that were saying, "Oh, they will not inaugurate them. Biden will do something. They will stop it." Blah blah blah. It didn't happen. Obviously, it didn't happen, and I knew it wouldn't happen. I just played along, hoping against hope that Biden will do it, but it didn't happen. So Trump was inaugurated at 47, but there is no 47. There is only 45. That is stealing, a convicted felon. So you see, it's a very heavy situation, and it has already started. And what is the problem with what is happening? Because we can debate about Bush. There are heavy doubts that he really won the election. But you can see there are a difference between Democrats and Republicans. The Democrats, in order to keep the system going, they decide not to contest any further, and they allowed things to happen with Bush. Here we are in a situation where Republicans are unable to do that because they are power driven. They want all the power, and especially now with a character that, if you go and check Nazism, the history of how a country like Germany went into one of the bloodiest power-driven and blood-driven regime in modern history. How did they fall into it? You will see that what is happening right now, the behavior, the energy, all of that, Trump is a Nazi. There is no doubt about that. Well, and you even have Musk with his Nazi salute that he did some days ago. And then you can see some MAGA idiot that are repeating it because, yeah, of course, right? Except that they don't have billions of dollars, so they pay the bill immediately, obviously. But anyway, so that's there. And I know that they are pushing back against it, but just learn history. Just inform yourself. It's there. You can't miss it. And you'll see how Hitler did it with a minority. They were a minority. They didn't have the majority. And how did they get there? They got there because everyone that could have stopped them caved. They all bowed, caved to Hitler. World War II, contrary to historical opinion, was not didn't have to happen. It was not something that had to happen. However, it happened because everyone bowed, everyone caved instead of fighting back, instead of stopping. And if France had immediately reacted, France would have stopped Germany. Germany was not strong enough to withhold a response, a immediate response from France, but France did not respond. The UK could have stopped it too, aligning with France and going in with France immediately. And Germany will not have been able to stop. So, um, and even before, Hitler was asking things, asking, pretending, oh, it's mine, it's mine, it's mine, or it's Germany's more. And everyone, instead of opposing it, they caved, saying um, to Czechoslovakia, was it already Czechoslovakia or was it the Czech Republic? Well, anyway, telling them to give to Hitler what Hitler asked. And Poland too, they were abandoned because it was, oh, we don't want to do anything, we don't want, and then in the end up with happening anyway, and with World War II. But it was possible to stop it. And if you look into what is happening with Trump, it's exactly the same thing. People that could have stopped him didn't do their job. They could have done it. The Biden administration had to put him in prison for treason. January 6th was treason, was insurrection. The guy had to go to prison. And they didn't. Probably they were scared. Probably they thought that it will there will be insurrection, blah blah blah. Well, look now what is happening now. He stole the election and now he is in the White House and people are dying. They have already started dying. Not just in the planes, in the horrible plane crash, but insulin have been the one, and you can see how these people don't care about people. One of the first things that they did, they stopped one of Biden's administration um, laws or whatever about insulin that was making insulin affordable for many millions of Americans. They have stopped that program. And you can ask, why would you do that? Why would that be one of your first decision? It's inhumane. It's horrible. It's less than anything, but they did it anyway and they don't care. People are already dying. This is crime against humanity. Do not be fooled. These people are criminals. From the point of view of our collective, there is no doubt. So now what to do, however, because this is the reality we are in. There is a felon that is supposed to be president of the United States, which is not. And you have all these billionaires that have ideas of world domination, which they will not have, but that doesn't stop them from trying, right? That's the way it is. How do you stop them? How do we stop them? First of all, it is clear that it's not over. Even not over with Kamala Harris. That is what the energetic are saying. So don't give up on her. And remember, she promised better days. And I know that many people didn't get that, but you also know that the media were not doing their job. And so the message from her campaign was not delivered. Anyway, that's not over. Because even if Trump falls, his vice president is going nowhere, meaning nowhere up, nowhere there. He's disappearing. Not to be forgotten, he is mixed up in a crime. Because even if he was not actively doing it, which he was, this scandal is not going to let anyone get away with it. It's because it's coming out, right? But we're not there. I'm not doing predictions because so far everyone that has done predictions, they were off. Doesn't mean that they were wrong. It means that they were off. And many have um, gone into it with an idea um, that was more wishful for them, and it's understandable. Remember, people are dying right now because that felon is in the White House making decisions that are life threatening for many people. So what can you do? Resist, resist, resist. Do not accept this outcome as your outcome. You cannot resist reality. Reality is what it is. So don't, I'm not saying that, but I have said I've put this reality in contempt. I'm in contempt of reality. Why? Because this is not what we agreed to. And I mean, energetically, that was clear. We did not agree with this. This is not the outcome we were going for. Now, what happened, and probably what changed things, because Biden was going to win the election, that was quite clear. But what happened is that, well, I think that in this timeline, with what happened, it would have been difficult to have another outcome, meaning that they interfered with the election, changing the votes. So even even if Kamala Harris had had more time to present herself to the electoral, um, how do you change the fact that by changing the votes, they change millions of votes, which shifted the election? So that is quite something difficult to see how to not allow to happen. If you allow the cheating, right, it's quite like that. But anyway, what is done is done. That's the reality we have, but we do not have to say that that is the reality we accept. We don't cave into it, we don't give into it, and we are allowed not to give into it. And we have to be careful into navigating the fact that we are not opposing reality just for opposition. We are resisting. It's resistance. This is not what we want. This is not our reality as we want it, as we accepted it, right? Um, and we do that by stating clearly which reality we prefer. What is the reality we were going for, which is a reality with Kamala Harris as president. That is our reality. That is what we want to um, have to be our reality. Now, we have to be careful. It's not about predicting it. We're not predicting it. Predictions change the future. So we do not predict it. But we firmly state that is our reality. That is what we prefer. That's where we want to go. From now on, that is it. Now, that's for the energetical resistance. As of the physical resistance, America strikes back. Elon Musk went to steal information about American people. He is not allowed to. Class action, attack, 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 go to the attack, overwhelm that motherfucker with class actions. Go ahead, put yourself together. Do not just send, and by the way, yeah, next, that's next. Do not cave, do not allow them to do it. Attack, attack, attack the administration, keep attacking. Their decisions are unlawful. They are disregarding the law. Attack them. That's something you can do. And obviously, as an individual, it's going to be very difficult for you alone to do it. But if you do class actions, put yourself together, organize. You're very strong with this. You're very good. Organize themselves, yourself with each other and attack, because it's your livelihood, it's your health, it's your livelihood, your finances, your social security is under attack. They want to take that away. They don't want you to have anything. They want to take the money, so the finances of everything that is, and they want to take it for themselves. They're not there to, they want to control it so that they can do whatever they want with it. And whatever they want with means that not a penny for you, the American people. Social Security, they want to take it over. Not spending it for you, spending it for themselves, which is what Musk has done with, right, his successes. He didn't have successes. He stole everything. His projects, he doesn't have projects. He just have stuff that he put out there so that he can have public financing for things that he doesn't do. So that's how they act. So that's, and they want that money for themselves, right? They want to be more rich because they don't have enough. And you can see that, and there is a pattern. And I'll say this to my Jewish friends, even though they will not believe it, but I don't care. The war in Israel and in the Palestine and in Gaza, that happened because of Trump. Trump saw, and I mean, maybe not Trump directly himself, but his family and the people in his sphere, they sold classified information to the best bidding, right? To those that were giving them money. They did that, and obviously, I have no proofs. Again, allegedly, it's all alleged. Entertainment purpose. But they sold those information, and those information were used by Hamas and those organizations to attack Israel. Same thing with Ukraine. Ukraine was programmed in a different way. Ukraine was supposed to happen with Trump as president, and so that when Putin so Russia invaded Ukraine. These are truths that we're not really allowed to talk about, right? The resistance. Anyway, what was their plan was to invade Ukraine. Trump president will have sided with Russia, or if they wouldn't have sided directly, clearly with Russia, Trump would have said, it's not our war, we will not commit to anything. So they will have abandoned Ukraine. So you will say, oh, that's not true. Trump right now is going against Putin. No, he's not. The problem that Trump has right now is that the US are already aligned in defense of Ukraine. So the military are supporting, the US military is supporting Ukraine. Trump cannot change that because he doesn't have the support of the military. He's already trying to destroy the military, by the way. You can see how his decisions and how he's meddling with it. So Trump is not in a position where he can do anything about that right now, because that was supposed to happen with when Russia invaded. Now, position is completely different. So can't do that right now. So that's that. So you see, these are the kind of thing, and behind all of those things is the fact that they stole and sold um, America secrets. So that is not good. And two wars, and probably worse, other things have been happening because of that. So you see, um, it's quite a necessity to have them fall. America cannot survive 4 years like this. We are just, what, 2 weeks in? It's not going to get better. It's going to get worse. So resistance is paramount. You have to resist. You have to organize. You will see that there will be support from the outside for other countries, and you can already see that they are not treating it the same way. The tariff will be ineffective for the administration, because what other countries are going to say is, okay, you want to put tariff on our goods, we're going to sell it somewhere else. So the only victim here, the only one that is going to pay the price are Americans, the American people, with prices skyrocketing, going up, shortage. And, you know, you will see also that food production will decrease, and that is also a very bad thing, because food production will decrease. So American will not produce, will produce less food. So you will have shortage. That's something that we've seen happening in the UK after Brexit, with where they prevented, and it's an aisle. So it's easier, right? Preventing immigrants to come in, and so no one was there to work the land, to work in the farms, and so the farmers couldn't produce, and so they had shortage of food. This is coming for the US, clearly. I mean, they are already people talking about it, right? How they don't have workers to do the work. So but that is, that is part of the hate that has been witnessed after the election and in these last few weeks. Trump supporters hating so much, heartbreaking, right? So much hate. And now they are probably those that are going to be the worst with what is happening. Doesn't change that everyone is impacted, and that we're sorry for what being put, what is happening with you. And to the American people, to the Americans out there, I will say, we are not forgetting you. We have been with you all these years. America has saved America. The United States have saved Europe twice. So that is for something. And we know that we know that that is not, yeah, the majority of Americans. And even those haters, they hate because they don't know better. And even if I'm not going to forgive them, I have compassion for them because they are expressing a lot of hurt, a lot of trauma. But if you are traumatized, don't go to vote, go to therapy, right? If you think that voting like shit is gonna change your life, it's gonna bring you what you are lacking and not having your life, that's not gonna happen. But that's not just with Americans, that is also in our country, in Europe, people that vote, that protest with their votes. Your life is not improving with that. Your life is getting more shit than anything else. So you should really go to therapy instead of voting the way you think you're going to vote to protest. But that's a side note. Anyway, it doesn't work. And if you were intelligent, using your intelligence, you will notice it. But I mean, one step after the other, we will not get from 0 to 100 in just like that. Anyway, don't give up. The times are difficult, dire. There are still some heavy stuff coming, but I have no doubts that the wheel of fortune is turning already. As I'm speaking. Um, all right. So thank you for. Oh, what is this? Mm, not just. Give me 5 minutes, Susan. Give me. Oops. Live in YouTube. Um, so there you are. Sorry for that. Don't. It's gonna be difficult for all of us because remember, this is a worldwide problem. It's not just an American problem. It's a worldwide problem. We are all together in it. Living outside the US right now is a much better place to be than to be in the US. Let's be honest. Let's be clear. Um, and even when this will find some kind of solution, the damage is done. The damage is clearly done. Things are not going to be the way they were. However, don't give up. Don't let it take you down. Fight it. And again, resist. And class action, class action, class action. Right? Very good. I will see you soon. Have a nice day. And yeah, like, subscribe, support. Well, stuff that you know. And bye bye.